What's going on, guys? My name is Chris and this is my 2018 Honda Accord. Now, what do I have planned for this YouTube channel, you may ask? What it is simply going to boil down to is you guys coming along for the ride of me building this car or any future car that I have ideas for. I've got some crazy ones. I want to take an RX-8 and I want to show the 7.3 Godzilla engine. I can't say that'll happen right now, but I'm definitely going to do my best to try and put that in motion and actually make it happen and take you guys along for the ride. But the whole point of my channel is for entertainment along with education. For anybody that doesn't know how to do this or wants to get into working on or modifying their own car and getting into the car culture itself, I want to be able to present that opportunity to where you can learn a little bit and also have fun with it. But obviously we're not at the RX-8 stage of building a car, so we are starting off with my daily driver, my 2018 Honda Accord Touring 2.0 in its beautiful champagne pearl frost color. First thing we're going to start off with is I bought it almost 3 years ago. When I bought it, this only had 70,000 miles on it. Now we're knocking on the door of 90. Now, obviously, when I bought this car, it was completely bone stock. An elderly couple owned it prior to me. They were the only owner. They drove the entire 70,000 miles that they put on it. They took very good care of it. Now, when I got the car, the very first thing that I ended up doing is I did a full paint correction myself, which involved a full cut and buff to clean up the paint, make it shine. And then following that, I ended up putting a ceramic coating on it. And if you want to know what that ceramic coating was, it was P&S Legend. Super easy to use, very friendly. 2 coats will give you 5 years of protection. Now, unfortunately, it was my first time doing ceramic coating, so I only got 1 coat. I will tell you the front end has a heavy coat. Now, following that, I ended up getting my hands on a set of Adahan AFF7s, which I will show right here. By far, I love these wheels. They were a set of 19 by 9.5 plus 38 offset. I definitely wanted to keep to a 19 inch. I did not want to step down from the factory size, mainly because I feel the 19 inch fits the car the best. 20 is okay, 18 looks too small, 19, just right. Now, I ran the Adahan AF7s for probably almost a year. Right after that, I got a trade offer for a set of Bors VR8s, which were a polished lip with a black spoke. I liked the look, I wanted to try something new, so I made the swap. Overall, they look really good. This is them right here. Now, they were also a 19 by 9.5 plus 35 offset, so it gave me just a little bit more poke, nothing crazy. Ultimately, after I got the Bors VR8s, these popped up a couple months later, and I ended up making a trade from a set of reps to a set of real wheels. Now, obviously, after the wheels, I had to go do suspension because it desperately needed it. I ultimately ended up going with the Trueheart Pro Street coilovers with the bypass module, as my car is a touring and does have active suspension. And overall, if you set your coilovers just right, it rides phenomenal. Obviously, I am not as low as I could possibly go, as this is my daily driver. I haven't had any issues out of them. They don't make any noise. I made sure to transfer a lot of my factory bushings and boots over to the coilovers. Now, I have been in the car scene probably since I was about 15. I'm about to be 30 now. Yeah, I'm old, I know. Even though I've been in the car scene for a while, I am fairly new to the whole stance scene. This wasn't necessarily my niche when I was in high school, fresh out of high school. I was all about muscle cars, horsepower. But since stepping into the stance category, I've learned that people are super friendly and super helpful, and ultimately put me onto 3-piece wheels. Now, in the past, fresh out of high school, I didn't know what 3-piece wheels were. I just thought a wheel was a wheel. But after my Bors VR8s, I had a set of wheels come into play, and I came across the Wedge Serb 2s. I went on a gamble. I had no clue what the offset was, what the width was. I just tried it. And lo and behold, they fit perfect. Now, what I've gathered is I believe these are a 19 by 10 and 19 by 11 in the rear. Now, when it comes down to the offset, I genuinely have no clue. I traded for them with unknown specs. I had no clue if they were gonna fit. Thankfully, they do, and they are actually perfect. All right, the next thing I decided to do was the exhaust, and by far, with having a 2.0, this is one of the hardest things, as they're not the best sounding engines. I will say the 1.5 sounds 10 times better than the 2.0, but I am on a mission to make the 2.0 sound good. So I have done different things versus what everybody else does. When it comes to the 2.0 Accord, a lot of the guys end up going with the Borla, or they go with the full bolt-up exhaust. I decided to do a single resonator delete, which I deleted the big one, and I deleted both of the mufflers in the rear. That helped with the sound, and then ultimately I ended up putting a catless downpipe on it, which definitely did make it a little bit louder. Don't want that. I want a nice clean note. So ultimately I did some research and started digging into Porsches and whatnot and how throwing an X-pipe on them will completely change the sound. Lo and behold, I came up with an idea, presented it to Quick Muffler up in Franklin, Tennessee, and they were down to try it. So my car has a custom X-pipe under the rear. Now, ultimately, after I added the X-pipe, it did help the sound of the car. It gave it a different note, along with toned it down a lot. It was no longer as loud as it usually was, especially being technically straight pipe minus one resonator. I'm not done from there. I've got plenty of more ideas when it comes to the exhaust to change the actual note of the car and maybe make the 2.0 sound good. Now, when it comes to my car, I try to do things on a budget as best as I can. Some things, obviously, you don't need to cheap out on. Suspension, downpipe, exhaust work, don't cheap out on all that. Go to somebody who knows how to do it or buy quality parts. That's my biggest recommendation. Ultimately, when it comes to appearance parts, I'm going to branch out and try and see what I can find. Being in the area I am in, it is really difficult to find secondhand parts. Ultimately, I did get lucky and I found the front lip that I have along with the duckbill. And with my car being the color that it is, I can't just go buy a front lip and have it already paint matched to my car because nobody makes it. So I had to get both the front lip and the duckbill paint matched to the car, which ultimately came out great. Now, ultimately, when it comes to the back of the car, I did end up getting a set of RGB taillights off of Amazon. You can fight me in the comments about it. They work great. They plugged in great. I haven't had any issues out of them. I also picked up dual exhaust tips from Amazon as well. Now, I know I do need a rear diffuser. I'm still working on finding the one that I like, which seems to be rather difficult. After all of this, what could be planned for the future? Now, my future plans and future video plans will be, I want to do full air ride on the car. I want to do the best kit that I possibly can, and I want to do a full install video so that you guys can also learn while I learn, as I've never installed air ride. I've done coilovers, that's about it. So we will kind of be on the path of learning together when it comes to that. Next up on the build list, I would like to do a full Jofer body kit, which means front bumper, side skirts, and the rear bumper. And then I want to also go through and redo the exhaust. When it comes to the exhaust, I want to delete the factory resonator that's left, and then I want to install a Vibrant ultra quiet resonator. After the resonator, I may mess with the exhaust tips. The quads may stay, or I may end up going with a muffler style tip for both sides, aka 2 fart cannons on the back, but high quality. Now, once I've got the exhaust dialed in right where I want it, sounding how I want, I plan to start working on the engine. Everything from doing the flex fuel kit to upgrading the turbo, upgrading the intake, charge pipes, intercooler, and at the end of it, tying it all together with a custom tune. Hopefully to achieve at least 500 horsepower out of this. I've seen several get up to in the 550s, maybe even peaking into the 600s. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth dive that I have on my car of everything I have done to it, along with what I have planned for the future for you guys and me. So if you will, do me a favor, like the video, comment your favorite part, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will catch you guys on the next one.